We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody. This is the Monarch family. Matt Monarch and
Angela Stokes Monarch and Mariah Berry Monarch.
with the Raw Food World TV show. And they say, we're extremists. All right, can you believe that everybody in the world is calling you an extremist? It's crazy. We're the normal ones. The majority of the people are the extremists. I'd say it's pretty extreme to be able to go to fast food 3 times a day or even 5 times a week and loading up on the amount of food people do, just stretching the elasticity of the human body. That's extreme. We're normal. We're eating food from the earth, the ground, raw food. So what we did today is we created a list of how we are normal while others say we're extremists. Now you guys have to understand that the majority of the population are extremists. They just go crazy with all sorts of things, putting radiation in their brain and putting their babies in hospitals and taking drugs. And all. This is like crazy new extreme extremities. This is like the majority of the population. But since the majority of the population are extremists,
Nobody thinks they are.
they're titled normal, and then all the people that are normal are titled the extremists.
He's crazy.
So we've broken everything down into like
Categories of how normal we possibly are.
7 categories of how normal we are.
There's a lot of stuff. We're going to try and go quickly.
What do you think, babe? Do you want to start?
Okay. With what?
I'll start. With the way we eat. 100% raw food. Normal. That's what everyone used to do. Or fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Or cooked food even that's healthy. Normal. Clean water. Oh, you're so crazy. You only drink clean water. We don't eat out. We don't eat at night. We don't, well, I don't necessarily taste things because somebody wants me to taste something. I don't overlap my meals. I eat something and I'm done until it digests. Actually, yeah. I don't eat dried spices. I get a runny nose and only eat clean food. No only organic, or we pretty much just grow our own food.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment on any of that, babe?
Lovely. How pleasant. What lovely normal people we seem to be.
Okay, so I'm going to read the health categories out, and then you can say something about it. In terms of health, we're extremists because we don't go to hospitals. We don't take drugs. We don't do stimulants, not even raw chocolate or drugs or alcohol. We don't do Wi-Fi. We don't use cell phones, or we don't use microwaves or ovens or anything like that.
Yes, many of those things seem to be standard in people's homes at this point. We do actually have a really silly little cell phone that you probably saw a minute ago. Raya was holding it, which is kind of unfortunate. It's the only thing we have. We don't have any of those fancy things like iPhones and stuff that people usually seem to have these days. And we just use it for emergencies. I can't stand using cell phones. I mean, the second I put one against my head, like just all this pain on the inside of my brain next to where it was. So I can't stand those things. I use them as least as possible. I give them to other people. Like, if you're willing to use that, then use it. And Wi-Fi, I mean, it's fairly obvious in the studies coming out how dangerous that is for children's health, having those kind of waves going through your whole house. So what we do instead is we have like EMF devices around our houses, and we have the quantum balance pendants, things like that. You know, we take away the stuff that's the most damaging, and we put even more stuff in that can help us. We have crystals everywhere, and yeah, we don't expose ourselves. So if you're still using a microwave, I mean, you might as well shoot yourself now.
Okay, we're going to have Oriah do the next one. What do you think, Oriah? Oriah is going to talk about child raising.
Oh. We are all for unassisted birth, breastfeeding, being diaper-free, lotus birthing, co-sleeping, baby wearing, early to bed, no school, and no vaccines. Oh, thank you, Araya. That was very informative.
How lucky are we? How lucky are you? Oh my goodness.
I think we probably covered most of those before, but in case not, lotus birth is when you leave the placenta on. Diaper-free, she doesn't wear any diapers.
She's never worn a diaper.
We just take her to the loo. Extended breastfeeding, or full-term breastfeeding, as people call it as well. Breastfeeding for as long as she wants, until she signals that she's kind of done and she wants to wean herself, which might be 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. Baby wearing, carrying her around instead of using, a stroller or all these like crazy moving plastic things that people have. Co-sleeping, she just sleeps with us. We go early to bed. She goes to bed at usually 6:30. We go to bed about 7:30. No school. We hope to do unschooling with her, which is what most of the children around here do. No vaccines. That's pretty obvious unless you want to inject your child with monkey brains and dead fetuses and formaldehyde.
And the early bed thing, people are always thinking like we're extreme because no, we don't want to go to your thing at 9 o'clock. What? Araya could sleep there. No, we don't. Forget. Okay. Business. No 9 to 5. Put everything we've got into it. Living in Ecuador. That was one thing. There's like a fearlessness. Like there's a lot of business owners who are fearful of hiring people to do their jobs so they can do what they want. I mean, I do a lot of work, but I don't want to be packing stuff. I don't want to be managing people packing stuff. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Detoxing.
I want to say delegation is usually the hardest thing for people who own their own businesses to do, because you think that you're the only person that can do it. You're the one who did it. No one else can do it for you. It's so amazing if you start to open up. He started opening up his business to just one person who still works for us now. And now there's I don't know how many there are. 20, 30 something.
20, 25. Detoxing. I'm crazy. I do colonics, sauna. We fast when ill. I mean, we don't take drugs to go pharmaceutical drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, look at an animal. What does an animal do when it's ill? It's not going to sit there stuffing its face full of McDonald's, is it?
No.
It's going to go on a water fast.
No chemicals. We sleep outside. When we used to go on the road, we had to be in hotels. It was the most painful thing in the world. We would seriously sleep with the hotel room door open. There's people next door to us on both sides. We didn't care. We wanted fresh air. I go and hang out at my brother's house, and I get there early, and he doesn't even keep the window open. I walk in the room, I'm just boom, hit by a wall of carbon dioxide, and I'm just oh God, I go in there, I open the windows, and I'm like, dude, you gotta sleep with your window open. He never listens to me. And then all natural beauty products.
Yeah, I don't wear makeup anymore. We use all natural stuff all over our bodies.
No deodorant. I haven't worn deodorant for 15 years.
And we don't stink.
No. Colonics are my deodorant. Yeah. Natural tooth products, eco clothing.
That would be a good bumper sticker. Colonics are my deodorant. That would confuse some people.
We wear 5-finger shoes.
We do. People usually think that's funny. I think a lot more people wear them now, though, the Vibram shoes.
And sunscreen.
We don't use sunscreen.
We don't use sunscreen. We just go in the shade or put a hat on.
I'm sure there's some people having heart attacks right now, the idea that we don't use sunscreen.
And all of that, all of it, all those categories, there's one more category, but all those categories lead up to one thing. The reason why I personally do all that stuff we just talked about is for the final category. Spiritual life. Am I an extremist? It's not about pure, it's about increasing vibration. Okay, so here we go, spiritual life. Certain things that we see other people do that we don't do or we do. Organized religion, no. No TV, movies, or magazines.
All that kind of media, we don't really have much exposure to it here in Ecuador, blessedly.
No drama and no swearing. It's like people who swear. When you take water and you say a bad word, it does an ugly thing, the molecules. But when you do nice things like love, it does nice things. So it's like, it's almost like, it's like just rubbish. Swearing, yeah. And no drama, we don't argue, it's just so stupid.
We use non-violent communication.
Yes. And in terms of Oriah, we don't say no to her. And we don't take things from her hand. Ooh, what's going to happen there?
Oh, we're probably irresponsible parents.
That's right. I mean, we could tell stories and stories. Like, when somebody tries to do that to her, it's just like, when they're like, no, that's not good. What? Let me tell you what's not good. And last but not least, the most important, me being an extremist, Oriah, attempting to focus and be aware. The attempt to be focused and aware, not the success. The attempt to be focused and aware. I don't want to say meditation because I don't like that word. 24 hours a day is the goal. That is an extreme spiritual lifestyle. And check this out. All this that we talked about is to aid the spiritual process. What's one more thing that's more important than that? Let me know. And we'll see you next time. At the Raw Food World TV show.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.